Hello, everybody. Welcome to Something Funky from MinnMax. MinnMax is a place about games, friends, and getting better. My name is Ben Hansen. I'm joined by Leo Vader.
Hey, happy funky to you.
Happy funky to thee. I'm joined by Sarah Podzorski.
Hello, I brought my books.
Great. We're going to need those books. Turn to page 14 and just start reading it out loud because this is Dungeons and Dragons, baby. Session 0. There's going to be minimal role-playing. We're all role-playing as if we're like streamers and YouTube hosts, I guess. But other than that, minimal role-playing in this thing because we are setting the scene for the Dungeons and Dragons one-shot we're going to be doing very soon because we hit our goal on Patreon. So thanks everybody for helping us hit that goal. And the person coming in to save the day and guide us on this journey, one DM Charles Hart.
Hello. Happy Funky Friday.
Yes.
Only the finest. Sarah and Charles, have you guys ever been on the same thing together?
I don't think so.
Okay, great. The two biggest D&D fans here involved with MinnMax. No offense to everybody else, I don't think. But so Charles, you enjoy DMing this Dungeons and Dragons stuff, yes?
Yes. It's funny because you're such a knowledgeable video game person, but the way you're talking about Dungeons and Dragons makes you sound like a grandma.
Yeah. I'm trying
Dungeon mastering this group of kids, huh?
this is a safe spot. Like I am
Role play,
nervous.
kids. We're role playing.
I feel intimidated jumping into this. I love it. I love the idea. So, long story short, for everybody, before we jump into our feelings, which who cares, right? This is D&D. There's no place for feelings. What's going to happen?
This is a session 0. We're going to get comfortable with each other. We're going to feel. We're going to push our boundaries. Like this is what this is about.
Pushing boundaries. Okay, so what we're going to do is Charles Hart is going to take his 2 feet and walk onto an airplane. Hijack the plane. No, and he's going to fly to Minneapolis. This is all happening this week here at MinnMax. So we are going to be streaming our Dungeons and Dragons session on Twitch. Twitch.tv/MinnMax show if you want to watch it live. It's going to be happening Thursday, May 9th during the day. It'll be up on YouTube after that for everybody else to watch, so you won't miss out if you don't want to follow along on Twitch. But we're going to be streaming it from the MinnMax studio. It's going to be a one-shot from this whole thing, and Charles is going to be DMing it, so you can tune in live, get ready for that. And again, this is all happening thanks to everybody supporting us on Patreon and letting this whole thing happen. And it's always my favorite thing is like when we hit that goal to surprise the MinnMax community with how efficient we can be, hopefully without stressing everybody out too much, but the idea of like, let's just do it next week. Let's just fly out, Charles. Let's just have some fun, to strike while the iron is hot. So thank you for everybody derailing your life a little bit so that we can play some D&D together.
Yes, to head to another life.
Yeah, another journey. Charles, how are you feeling about this whole thing? How are you feeling about the concept of DMing for a one-shot? Is it stressful to try and squeeze everything in just a smaller session?
No, I like Dungeons and Dragons so much that my therapist was like, "Have you been screened for autism before?"
Oh, that's a great compliment.
That's the level I'm sitting at in terms of how I feel about Dungeons and Dragons. So any level of thing, like I am so much more stressed about. I've never gotten on a plane by myself before. That's by far the most stressful part of this whole thing.
Wow,
D&D is gonna come so easily. Yeah, so I'm ready.
Do you
we
want
can
to
do it right now, and I'd be ready.
Okay,
you know?
okay. So what this is the big thing is I want this to be good. I want it to be fun, and I'm not talking to you guys trying to coach you. I'm trying to coach myself, and so I don't want to jump into the D&D session on Thursday and personally be like fumbling around, dragging it down, and so I want to be as prepared as possible, and so that is the point of this session 0 here.
So what I will say to that is, Sarah was mentioning earlier, like this is the exact place for that, like to gauge where everyone's at, because I don't know exactly how much experience any of you have, but also Ben, that's what makes it fun. If people wanted to watch super experienced Dungeons and Dragons players, there's like a million other places they'd go. They want to watch MinnMax play Dungeons and Dragons, and you're Mr. MinnMax.
Thank you for using my legal name. I appreciate it. So what do we need to know going into this thing?
So we're going to be doing a quick little session. It's just a few hours long. You guys are going to be going on an adventure.
Yes.
You're going to be a party of 3 adventuring heroes, ? I don't know. We haven't established it yet. But I've set up basically a little town. The premise I wrote down is a group of adventurers strapped for gold have headed to the small town of Gunch, hoping to do a job for someone they know there. So basically, I have like a rough idea of what I want to do, but really the only thing set in stone is that I've named the town Gunch. I know you guys will need money, but that's immobile. And so we'll go through, we'll see like what kind of characters you want to play. I said there's a person you know there that's going to give you a job or gold or whatever.
Yeah.
That's something I haven't decided yet, but once we figure out who your characters are, I feel like it'll be a little more clear. That's our starting point.
Okay, and I should point out, we're talking a little bit behind the scenes about like, don't mind me doubling up, about just like, is there some way to get the community involved? It'd be fun, not make it a full Twitch plays D&D, but you came up with a Google form, Charles, and so people, if you're a Patreon supporter, we're going to have a form in the Discord that's accessible to all Patreon supporters where you can submit NPC character names.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How many NPCs are we going to come across? Are you going to randomize it? Like, what's the process in your mind for letting people influence the game that way?
I'll come up with like the character, like the idea of the character, and I'll just leave the name slot blank. And I'm hoping that we get enough names that I can make some tables for different genders. And then when I get to a character that matches the description I have gender neutral male and female are the three I have set up. And so then like you see meet the barkeeper, and they're, a real rowdy person. I roll on the gender neutral table, and then I don't know, Ben Hansen comes up. I'm like, well, this person's named Ben Hansen.
Okay.
Or
right,
some other various silly thing.
Perfect. So before we jumped into this, Sarah, we should set the scene for everybody's experience with D&D. Charles, you're obsessed with it. Your therapist says, shut up, please stop talking about it. I played maybe like 4 sessions a couple years back. But I felt a little intimidated and overwhelmed at the time and stuff. So assume I know nothing, but technically I have played a little bit before, and I had a blast, even if I was a little bit lost in the weeds of character sheets and stuff. But Leo, didn't you get into it recently?
Yeah, I've done a couple unfinished campaigns over my life, including one very recently. So I'm kind of fresh on it, but still I'm mostly the type of person who's like, I want to do this. Dungeon Master, help me do this.
Yeah, and Sarah, Secret Hardcore Sarah?
I mean, I play like every other week, probably.
That's awesome.
We have like a D&D session on Sunday. So, but that's with like, close friends, and we're not like hardcore role players, right? Mm-hmm. So there's like a lot of like subtle like metagaming that goes on. But yeah, it's mostly just for fun.
So can you explain why, before we started the stream, you're like, I can be a centaur? What is all this stuff that Charles has prepped? You seem overwhelmed or confused or in love with like a range of possibilities.
Since we're making our characters on D&D Beyond, Charles is giving us access to all of his like additional add-ons to D&D. Like if you're used to like, there's like various levels of D&D where you can get kind of just like the bare bones, and then you can like buy D&D DLC, which is additional books.
Oh boy.
Which will give you like a little rules to like additional like classes and races and all these characters. And I opened Charles, and there's like 50. And like I was just like overwhelmed because like we play pretty like, bare bones, but now that I have additional options and I'm overwhelmed.
In my defense, there's one book that came out last year called Monsters of the Multiverse, and they basically took all of the races that were in like this book here and that book there and that book here and put them all into one. So I just bought that one book, and it happens to have like 30 new races. I didn't know if you would want that. There's a setting in there when you're going to select race. You can also filter by the source book. So Ben, I thought for you, we would just filter to the base player's handbook, just so you're not overwhelmed by choices. Because I don't know.
Sure.
Unless you really want to be a centaur or a fairy or a.
I do really want to be a centaur.
I would love to see a centaur, dude. Hell yeah.
So there's no way to play like base rules, most basic level, but let Sarah be a centaur? There's no way to mix and match that?
No, I can.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's just like additional like things like I was reading, and it's like I can't climb and I can't like do certain things, and I'm like a much larger. So it's like there's just additional rules you have to follow.
Okay. Gotcha. So Charles, what do we need to know? Walk us through it. Where should we start?
Well, let's just start. Do you guys all do you have an idea in your head for Ben? I expect you don't. Leo and Sarah, do you have an idea for race class you want to play at all?
Last minute, I want to be a centaur.
Okay.
Because if Ben's going to be a gnome, I want him to ride me into battle. And I am between druid or a martial class.
And I want to go outside my comfort zone a little bit for the type of characters I normally make in RPGs. And I want to go pretty violent fighter, really low intelligence.
Okay.
But I think I also have a good vocabulary. I'm just really dumb. I can put it into good words though, but the decision making is off.
Well, why that combo?
Oh, we're going to be murder hobos! Okay. Ben, we're going to need you to be the Rizzler. We're going to need you to go high charisma.
Okay, I can do that. So
You don't have to do that.
no, I think I want to do that. So what I was thinking, Charles, is so Ted Reiser, the Patreon supporter, he unlocked the cohort Hootenanny, our bonus podcast and stuff, and he chose for his Wall of Heroes image to go in every video throughout the month of May for MinnMax here. He chose just an image that just says, Ben, play as a gnome. And so I'm like, well, it's a coin toss to me, so I guess I'll be a gnome. I guess that's fine for me. So that's about all I've got in that department. I'm open on class. I think last time I played a thief, and it was just a bunch of stuff that I didn't really know how to do. And so I'm curious. I'm flexible this time around if we should balance it out and I should go magic, you're saying, Sarah? Or what angle?
Just whatever you feel most comfortable with. I could see Thief being a little overwhelming because it is a lot of like pushing the boundaries of like the DM and being like, I sneak and I hide in the shadows.
Yeah,
but
right.
Yeah, I think for magic, if you want to be a magic user,
I'm not.
Leo will stand in front. You will stand behind Leo.
I'm not crazy about magic. And what's your centaur abilities like? What are you aiming for?
I was either going to do druid or ranger. So
Okay.
And for context, Ben, druid is it's like a nature magic user. It's kind of like riding the line between support and just like general utility magic user. It kind of sits in its own space.
Yeah.
Fighter's just like straightforward melee fighter. And then ranger is like they call it like a half caster, where she'd have melee combat abilities and then also magic stuff.
Okay. So Sarah, you got magic covered basically.
yeah, yeah.
Half the classes are magic, or I think are full casters.
Right.
And since we're starting level 1, right, Charles?
Mm-hmm.
We'll all be pretty like in the same area.
Okay. Interesting. So should we start building stuff out, or what more do you want to walk through here, Charles, before we go to?
So I guess let's figure out your class real quick.
Sure.
Okay.
So
Leo, are you fighter or are you like
locked in, Leo?
barbarian?
Good question.
I think barbarian might make a little more sense. It's a little more angry.
And that'll be good
violent.
because I get really angry if I don't understand the rules.
what was I gonna say? Do you have a race picked out, Leo?
Looking at the list here, I feel like Goliath might be good, or
Whoa, what is
orc,
that?
ogre
my
type
God.
orc.
Giantkin is a Goliath.
Giantkin?
That I said that as if that would clear things up. It clearly did not. Just meaning like descended from giants, so they're like very large people. I think they can be like 8 feet tall.
I like that.
Leo, I won't be able to carry you on my back like that.
Good. I was already, the second you said you're going to be a centaur, I was like, I'm going to over rely on riding her for transportation. We need to balance that out.
I do really like this selection though of like the height chart of you got a huge person, a tiny person, and then a normal height person, but they're a centaur.
Yeah.
Okay, we got the range.
Okay. And then Ben, we can figure out your class.
Well, could I actually back it up? Could I back my dump truck up for a second? So I want to be a gnome, but there are a couple different versions of gnomes.
Yes.
Help me out.
Let me.
So it looks like there's rock gnome, forest gnome, and deep gnome galactic. I want to go forest gnome because I'd rather live in a forest than live on a rock. But how important is this stuff? Like I'm looking at all the traits here. And it's like, as a forest gnome, you'll have a natural knack for illusion and inherent quickness and stealth. Is it kind of forcing me into kind of a more stealth role then if I choose a forest gnome?
I think generally speaking, the game will give you tools, but whether or not you want to use them is not really going to make, especially like the racial abilities, like it'll be useful things, but it's not going to, I think it is just as interesting to be someone with stealth abilities that likes being stealthy and someone that has stealth abilities that doesn't like being stealthy. Like, I think that's such an interesting character to be like, it is in my nature to create illusions and stuff, but I just want to be real, you know? Not saying that you have to do that, but just saying that, like, it doesn't have to restrict your role-playing choices. Okay. I think Forest makes sense because Sarah's a centaur. I'm thinking right now, how do you guys know each other? That's
right.
I don't want Ben in my forest, to be honest. I feel like he is a disturbance to my personal peace.
Okay.
Could be different forests.
Yeah. Is it important that we know each other going into this, or it's not just us meeting for the first time?
It's for like backstory. Like, what are our relationships with each other?
Okay. And for a one shot, it's like faster. In a regular campaign, you might meet each other at the start. But.
Okay.
It makes it a lot simpler to get into like the meat of what you're actually doing if we don't have to role play you guys meeting each other for the first time. It's easier to be like, remember that time we stole all that bread from that guy? Okay, anyways.
Yeah. Okay, so Sarah, you don't want to be a forest gnome or a forest gnome from a different neighboring forest?
We can come from the same forest.
Thank God. Thanks for being flexible. It's all about teamwork here in this fantasy world. Okay.
I mean, maybe you move to this forest, you know?
Your gnome could be somebody who like thinks that he's a centaur, like Will Ferrell in an elf. It could be that kind of situation, raised with the centaur.
That's true. He thinks he's a horse.
Okay.
Right.
What if like Ben doesn't know like what normal people look like because he's only been around centaurs, and then Leo, and he doesn't understand humans?
Oh, I like that.
That's good.
Yeah.
So the differences here, Ben, between the two.
Yeah.
Forest gnome, you get this cantrip minor illusion, so you can just magically make little images show up. I think it's like a foot by a foot. And you can just make any image. Like that's.
I'd like to make some fruit by the foot show up. Am I right, Leo?
Hey, snacking.
Yep.
You can also communicate to small animals.
That sounds great.
I like how it's only small animals.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds lovely.
Cool. Well, then I won't even tell you the other option.
Great.
We're set.
Yep. Forest me. And so then class-wise, I'm looking at the word monk, and that seems cool to me, but I'm wide open and flexible.
It's okay. Let's get ahead of this, Hanson. It's not like the show. It's a different thing.
A monk gnome.
Yeah. That seems like a cool combo, but what are the details for a monk here I should keep in mind?
Monk is like hand-to-hand fighter, basically.
Oh, right. Okay.
So you have more attacks than other people would at level 1. You just roll smaller dice. So you hit more, get more swings, but you're doing less damage for each hit.
So do I have any magical, healing, religious, cool moves as a monk?
Kind of. I don't know if you do it level 1 or not.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I'm willing to. I think that sounds cool, but if Leo's already kind of bare bones fighty, yeah, maybe I should find something else. I mean, do you have a recommendation here, Charles, from the list?
Did you want to be magic or not?
I'd like to maybe. Is it possible to have just a couple magic moves? Maybe one magic move in my back pocket.
Where you really know what they do.
Right. It's very clear. Like, I want to be able to attack with a sword, but have one fireball in my back pocket if I need it. But is that kind of taking the ranger idea?
I mean, sound like, should we start at level 2? Is that going to overcomplicate things?
Then I get wild shape as a druid.
Do you want to do level 2, Sarah?
I don't know. We could do level 2. I don't think that would overcomplicate things too much. I don't know if I need to be a centaur and a druid that can wild shape. It feels a little weird, but
right.
You're like a person that tried to wild shape once and you got stuck.
It just didn't work out.
Because a lot of features open up at level 2 is the thing, Ben. So the idea of you wanting melee stuff and a little bit of magic.
I mean, honestly, I in the interest of keeping it streamlined, unless this is going to be so boring and we're blowing it. The fact that you all were leaning towards level 1 to begin with, like, I think that seems like a logical thing, and I can sacrifice having a fireball for the sake of making this clean for the first go.
Good instinct.
Thank you.
I think monk is probably where you want to go. You could also be a warlock.
Okay, sell me on a warlock. What do they got?
They can combine. They've got some melee stuff, and they get their subclass at level 1, so they like specialize a little bit quicker. So you can choose stuff there. It's more. But in general, with magic stuff, it's going to be more decisions, right? Because you're going to pick your spells out of the existing spells. In this case, you're going to be picking your subclass out of the existing subclasses. Which is perfectly doable. I just want you to know what you're getting into.
Do you think there'd be enough of a distinction if I was a monk level 1 and Leo was a barbarian level 1 between what we're doing? Definitely? Yeah. Great. Let's go monk then.
Cool. Done. Okay. So you're a gnomish monk. And then we've got... Sarah, have you locked it down yet? I guess it doesn't really matter.
I'm still between druid. I'm looking at the differences between the level 1 like class building.
Truffaut, Sarah's
I think I'll go ranger. No. Okay. Yeah. Well, then no one will have spells. I'll go druid.
I'll go rounded campaign.
If someone could have healing spells, that would be good.
I'll go druid. I can do it.
Has healing spell. Cool.
Nice. Truffaut is asking, how did Charles come to have so much D&D knowledge? It's insane, says Truffaut. I don't know what that last part, but
I feel like I haven't said anything yet, so that's kind of upsetting. There's so much knowledge. We haven't even left the player's handbook, man. I don't know. One day I heard about. I literally I was in a game studies class, and they were talking about how important D&D is to the structure of video games. I was like, hey, I should check this out and listen to the first episode of The Adventure Zone, and then I was just lost. I never came back from there.
Nice.
Anyways, and Ben, to your credit, the Adventure Zone's great because they don't know how to play at the start, and that's why it's fun. Is they're all figuring it out and just making stuff up. So.
Sure.
So we've got that figured out. Let's figure out how the three of you know each other and why you're working together.
Okay.
As I think I would like you each to have a need for money specifically is another part of this.
Okay. So we're
So
still in my wheelhouse. Won't be hard to roleplay.
should we get into backstory stuff with this? This is all kind of entangled together.
This is when you start ideating on that.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking for myself, it might be fun if, based on the MinnMax community and stuff, if the idea was I was a gnome who had a bunch of kids who all wanted me to become an actor. So yeah, Dad, you can become an actor. You can do it. And so I'm a struggling actor.
Wait, then you should be playing a bard.
Could be a bard.
Okay. Hey, I'm flexible. I'm wide open to all this stuff.
I honestly, I was thinking about you being a bard. That's just they are magic through arts, performing arts. So if you're an actor, that's literally what a bard would be doing.
Okay, great.
Your magic through that performance.
Is a struggling actor also a bard?
A what?
Because we could be role-playing him not being good at it.
Right.
Yeah, and that's why he doesn't have any money.
Okay.
That's why you're level 1.
Yep, great. Yeah, let's go for that then. I'm changing it all up.
Okay, perfect.
First gnome
this is
bard.
a classic combo, Ben, also, for what it's worth. Gnomish bard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Iconic combo. All right, great. So that was the idea, is I'm struggling with it, but I'm trying to get out there and see if I have any acting chops outside of the house. And so why I'm trying to get money, trying to put on a play back in my forest or something.
Okay.
There could be some kind of community center that we need to raise money.
Yeah, that's
and
better.
I'm going to say that I saw his performance and I, as a centaur, don't really know much about I have been living in my little centaur enclave, so I don't know much about society. And I thought Ben the Gnome was really good. And so I believe in him and I want him to travel the world. And I think he's really, really good, even though he's really, really bad. But I don't know any better.
I think that works for me too. I really like that of me like chancing upon this play he puts on, and it's absolute ass. But we both, from our life experience, are so like we swear fealty to this gnome and want to help him make it.
Right. And can it be that like I put on that play at the community center in Sarah's village, and it's called the Community Centaur?
Yes.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Leo left. That was so good. Leo fucked. He left. That was so good.
Okay.
We're talking about pushing boundaries. Okay, that was over my line.
Okay, great. So we've never, none of us have ever met a human before, and so humans might be better actors. Is this the angle? That's where we're also impressed by me being a
Trying to
terrible
break
actor?
the glass ceiling that actors that are human. You know.
Right.
It's just kind of weird because you're like, we're trying to prove gnomes are as good as humans, except you're not good in this fiction.
Right.
I think we also just like don't have the context for what is pretentious.
Yes.
So if you're
Right.
being like really pretentious, we think it's actually really like moving and deep.
Right. It's kind of like the classic film we all know backwards and forwards, The Invention of Lying, or I'm the First Actor, and it's kind of blowing our minds.
Exactly. You really did.
Okay.
Well, great. I think that's that's a perfect example. Okay, and then I have a trio of questions, and you guys are each going to take one for yourselves and answer them. So the first one is, which one of you owes a favor to someone in the town of Gunch? Where are you going? Which one of you is particularly interested in the town? Like there's something or someone you want to see there. And which one of you needs money the most urgently?
I'm interested in Gunch because I heard they had the world's largest rubber band ball.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take the first one then, because I think Ben makes the most sense for the money with all of his gnome children.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'll owe someone a favor. Maybe I like met someone in the forest and they helped me out in some way, and now they mentioned that they were from Gunch, and now I want to like pay them back with my best intentions. But maybe I don't know what the favor was. Maybe I was like lost. Centaurs don't get lost in the forest. Maybe I help them and they owe me.
I think it's got to be the other way around because you're going to get money from them.
Okay.
Yeah. You got stuck in a bear trap in the forest and they helped
It
you
doesn't
out?
make any sense though. Saved you from a bear trap. Why does everyone go to a bear trap?
Oh, is that a common thing?
Everyone in the comments like, you got stuck in a bear trap.
Oh, really? Okay, what's the opposite of that?
Trapped in a horse trap.
Yeah, trapped in a horse trap. Let's see, what would horses get
That's just a
stuck on?
stable.
How do
Yeah.
horses get? Yeah, maybe I was just stuck. God, what? Maybe I was like stuck in
Could you
like
have-
Oh, you had little horseshoes on, and then there was a magnet on the ground, and you got magnetized
got
to it.
stuck.
Yeah. It's completely
I got
different from a
trapped
bear
on top
trap.
of some stairs or something, and I couldn't get down.
Right.
So you could have fallen in a hole, like you can't
Oh
climb.
yeah,
That's a whole thing.
can't climb out. Okay.
Right. Even though there is a staircase walking out, but you just can't get out of it.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
And then who helped you?
A kind soul walking by, who was, I'm gonna say they were, I want to say that they were like actually up to no good in the forest, but I didn't know any better.
Okay.
And I think that they were, because they helped me, I'm gonna assume that they were a good person.
You assume you're going to get to town and they're like the innkeeper or the mayor. Or
Yeah,
something.
I'm gonna assume
Maybe
that like they're
doing
like
something
really
shady
high
there.
up in their society, and like they must be like really revered for being such a good person.
I
No,
really-
they're chaotic good.
I really enjoy how the three of you have all picked different like collective delusions. Of, like, I don't know who this guy is, but they are wrong about
Also,
what's going on
Delulu
in
from the
world.
forest. It's just
This
different
forest.
in the forest.
Yeah, you got to come here, Charles. It's actually really cool.
The big city of Gunch is like so different.
And we are convinced it's the biggest city on Earth, even though it's probably like three
for sure.
spots. Yeah.
A detail I was going to have about Gunch is that it's not on any maps, not because it's insignificant, but because people just, or not because it's not big, but because people just keep forgetting where it is. But
Right.
to you guys, it's so cool.
The Big Gunch.
Okay, and Ben, how many kids do you have?
What do you want to know? Let's see. How many kids are there in Mog House in Final Fantasy VII? I'd say a solid, let's say 7 children.
A litter.
Holy shit.
Yeah. A litter, but that sounds derogatory, Leo. It's like, what's a positive litter? Throwing away in the trash. Recycling.
A bundle.
A bundle of children.
It's a big bundle.
A bouquet.
He has so many kids, he can't remember how many kids he has. I think the number should just keep changing. How many kids do you have? 8?
I think 9 by now, actually.
An audience of children, someone in the chat just said.
Oh, that's good. Are they, to be clear, are they like your like biological, like are you the parent of these kids, or is it like at the community centaur, they're like local kids?
Oh, interesting. I think they're my kids. I envision it like, the centaur, the community centaur is just a place I went to go perform that one time, and that's how I met Sarah and Leo.
And do you have a partner in this world? Like
no,
that has...
she also died in the hole.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Why are there so many? Those holes in these forests are dangerous.
This could be like all building up to this big boss fight against this hole. Interesting conflict.
Okay. I'm going to hope I remember what I mean when I wrote down partner died in a hole.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I bonded with Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
Hole trauma.
I fell in a hole once.
Is this maybe what your performance was about?
The death of my wife.
And I was so moved by it as someone
Yeah.
who has been also victimized by the holes in the forest.
Yeah, it was an allegorical tirade against holes.
Because bards, like, people assume they play instruments, but some bards are like monologuers, and I'm leaning on the fact that you're like a one-man show monologue.
Right.
Doing characters.
Right.
You put on a wig and you're your mom and that kind of stuff.
A lot of Billy Crystal energy.
And then
very D&D friendly name, if I might say.
Oh shit, is that my name?
well, the ancient wizard Billy Crystal, known for his radiant spells. Leo, what's your character? You just live in this village. We know that you're angry, but I don't know what you do.
I'm not sure what I did, but I have been on a 10-year pilgrimage to see this rubber band ball. It has been like a holy journey for me.
And this is wild because, like, the average D&D peasant wouldn't even see a single rubber band in their lifetime, you know?
Exactly.
And this is not only a ball, it's the world's largest ball.
Right. And I saw one rubber band a long time ago, and that got the mind reeling.
Okay. Okay, perfect.
And it's been extra hard to go on this pilgrimage because nobody can remember where Gunch is.
True.
That's how you ended up in the forest.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Trying to see the Gunch ball.
Charles is like writing down like make Gunch ball.
Oh, I should. I mean, I won't. I don't know what you're talking about. Cool. Is there any other like loose threads you've all set out together? You guys know, Sarah, you know this person in Gunch. Ben, you're like, well, maybe I can get some funding for this show.
Mm-hmm.
And Leo's like, also, there's the Gunch ball.
Yeah.
That sounds good to me.
Good.
That's
Good to
rock
me.
solid. That's storytelling.
All right.
And the ball is like the opposite of a hole, kind of, because you fill it.
Whoa.
Is there anything there?
Well, the boss fight will just be a golf mini game. Fill the hole with the ball.
Wow, because I'm a giant, so I've got to put it in. Wow.
This is all just an elaborate what the golf spinoff.
Perfect.
How tall is Leo technically? Since I'm human height and Ben is gnome height, how big? I've never played with like a giant before. How big is? Are we gonna fit in any taverns?
The Goliath says size medium.
Okay.
It's like a just a rating for D&D classification stuff, your size, because like some things affect like medium, smaller, large, and bigger creatures. Goliaths are between 7 and 8 feet tall.
Okay, I'm 8.
Perfect.
7'11" and a half, whatever the max is.
Whatever. Short king among Goliaths.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I think we got that all figured out.
Great.
So we can shift over into the Ben specific character creation.
Ooh, real quick, chat's wondering how tall am I?
I for the record typed in Goliath height and it brought me a link to the Bible, and I was like, I always forget D&D's not the only thing.
Yep.
I'm that Goliath.
Oh my god, yeah, can Leo throw Ben? Can Leo throw Ben?
Definitely.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah.
I think you have to make like an athletics check, but you'd be good at that because you're a barbarian. You also get advantage on strength checks when you're raging, so you'd be really good at throwing Ben.
Perfect. And sorry, how tall am I?
Between 3 feet and 4 feet.
Okay, cool. 3.5 feet it is.
If I can ask a general question, how does the group feel about character voices?
Thank you.
Yeah, wonderful question.
I do lots
were
of
you-
voices.
I'm not good at doing voices. I'm more of a character vibe person, but I would love to hear Leo's voice.
Okay.
What is he ruminating on?
I haven't thought of what this voice should be really. But I do like voices in general for D&D. I think it's nice to be able to just launch into my character is saying this without having to go, and then I say, and be clear with the distinction. I feel like that's a real value it brings.
Right.
Okay.
And I guess I'm British.
Oh.
And I guess I might be
yeah.
British.
But can I do a refined British accent? I don't know.
Yeah, what kind of British?
The good ones or the bad ones?
I don't think I have the vocal dexterity to do more than one kind. I'm on a 10-year pilgrimage to see the Gunch Bowl.
Oh, okay.
More of a Jason Statham kind of.
Right,
But
right.
I don't know if that captures the intelligence. I'll keep thinking on it.
Sorry, Jason.
Hollywood smart guy. Sorry.
Yeah. So, Sarah, you prefer no voice?
No, I can do a voice.
I just
can
want
work on it.
It doesn't
I'm
have
up
to be very
it.
much at all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm open
I
to it.
can
I
work
just
on
don't want
it.
to annoy anybody. Is kind of my take. So if I'm just doing some obnoxious
You're a
voice,
gnome bard, Ben. Your job is basically to be annoying.
yeah, I guess
Ship
so.
has sailed.
Maybe I could just do like a slightly higher pitch voice, and that can kind of be the distinction.
Do you want to workshop it?
Yeah, I'm wondering, can I put some effects on the mixer? Oh, that'd be interesting.
That's a fun idea.
But I wouldn't be able to like dial it on and off over there. But yeah, just maybe a little bit higher like this type of thing.
Yeah.
Little Bill Burr in there.
Nice.
Cool. And
Sarah?
then, Sarah, you don't have to do anything.
Let me workshop it. I'm trying to Google like if a horse could talk, what would it sound like?
Some problems we can't Google our ways out of.
Yeah.
You mean the biblical horse?
Guess Google doesn't
Yeah.
know everything.
Jesus' horse?
God, did Jesus have a horse? They didn't have horses back
Yeah.
then. That was just in Spain where all the horses were hiding out.
That was his
Shadowfax.
first miracle. He created the horse.
Wow, creating
He
shadow.
turned some guy into a horse.
So what's next, Charles?
Okay, yeah, let's I think now we can just go into making your character, Ben. I guess the other thing I was going to say, session 0, usually you talk about like your expectations for the game, also like social expectations. I don't think we need to really go over social stuff as much because there's kind of an implied social contract when you're making shows and podcasts together. But I've never asked this, but I assume the answer is no. What's the MinnMax swearing deal?
Oh, for podcasts, we bleep it out typically, but like for streams, that's fine. I think it'll be all right.
I swear a lot more like in character. Like I can
What?
see myself really trying to be like a hard ass, and I'm just like dropping F-bombs, and I want to know how much to reel it in, and I can turn it off. I can turn it off.
I
just
mean,
wanna know what the vibe
part
is.
of me it feels like, oh, maybe it would be kind of fun to keep it completely clean. But Sarah, is that just lame?
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, maybe.
It's
maybe.
fine,
Yeah.
You're the gnome with 8 children. You know? Gotta keep it PG for them.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's try and keep it PG. If you feel like it's a switch you can
Why
flip,
not-
Charles, but I'm open to whatever.
Yeah, we can try, but your character should just be against swearing, Ben, and you can kind of police that.
Oh,
in the moment.
yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah. I mean, Gunch has a bad enough mouth feel as it. Like that kind
Right.
of feels like you're saying a swear word.
It does.
Absolutely.
It does. It's like, who am I calling a gunch again? Is that okay?
Is that the Dr. Seuss guy? Stole all the presents? No, something else.
Could never compare someone to him.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, we checked everything off my list, so we can go into the Ben specific section. Sarah and Lee, you can hang out if you want.
Oh, and before they go, I was thinking too, like, how are you guys feeling about costumes? Also, should I be playing music? This is also for the community. Should I be playing music underneath this whole thing? How are you feeling about that?
Yes, music.
Yes, music. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there are services, softwares for like soundscapes, clicking between different, like we're outside in the forest now, we're in the tavern and it's tavern ambience. Having something like that going would be fun, and I could handle that.
Really?
If I had a laptop plugged
DJ
in.
Leo.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. That'd be awesome. So this is D&D Beyond that we're looking at here. So race, class, got all that down.
You're gonna have to go back to. Wait, is that? Go back to class real quick. There's some like hidden tabs in here.
Oh, okay. Ooh, yeah. Even for race, do I need to select some stuff?
Let's
Dark
go. I don't think
vision.
so. As long as you selected Forest Gnome, you should be fine.
Okay, great. The name thing.
Yeah.
Should we lock those down here for everybody?
We do gotta figure out names.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you. Yeah, you can. Those kind of take longer sometimes, but also you can just
Names?
Some people have a really hard time
sometimes.
coming with
I have one
Okay.
already.
Yeah, what do you think,
Yeah,
Leo?
Pringle with a Y.
Yeah. I was going to suggest that. That's really good.
Pringle with a Y.
suggest that. We were
good.
on the same page there.
Yeah. Chat recommended flipping it, so mine is just Crystal Billy, which sounds like a great name.
Crystal Billy.
Crystal Billy. That sounds like a good
Okay.
stage name.
Yeah.
I'm co-opting my last one-off campaign because I really liked the name. I'm gonna keep Dandy Lightly.
Dandy
I really liked
Lightly.
it.
That is a great name.
Perfect.
Is Lightly the last name?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
Dandy's the first name.
Damn, that's just dandy.
Perfect.
There's a part in the Spider-Man 1 PS4 DLC where Hammerhead says "just dandy" right before he's shot, and I think about that every week.
Good. Does one of us have to role play the DLC for Spider-Man in this, or?
I was just thinking about the word
Spider
dandy.
I know, I'm just messing with you.
Also, Dungeons and Dragons D&D dandy.
Oh.
Dandy sometimes. So.
Oh,
Sarah, were you like glancing around the room and trying to come up with a name? D&D.
No, it's because in my other one shot I played a dandelion.
What?
And I was
You
trying to
did
come up with a name. I was playing like a grappling hook dandelion, and I could grab 2 grappling hooks, and I could like teleport places. So I came up with Dandy Lightly.
What the hell are we doing with our boring characters when I could be
She's a
grappling
boss.
a dandelion?
Hey,
I look forward to when Devolver Digital releases that next year.
Yeah, Ben, I don't know what she's talking about. If that makes you feel better.
Okay.
No, this was like this was like a Pathfinder campaign, like a homebrew.
Okay.
Yeah, so it had like a bunch of additional classes and like races and stuff. So we were all playing people.
Gotcha.
You can listen to it on Join the Party Pod. I had a one-off there.
Right.
Pathfinder, if D&D is Spanish, Pathfinder is Portuguese.
Oh, I see.
It's
Okay.
like, I can understand it, but I can't speak it, you know?
It is fun, but also intimidating seeing people come out of the woodwork who've devoted their lives to D&D for this type of thing. Of just being like, oh, you got to do this. And so I don't know, are you eager for any community feedback, Charles? Or do you feel like I got it? Nobody tell me to do a certain thing or another thing.
I'm not looking, so I don't
Okay,
I actually
okay.
know. I also don't, like, they can offer stuff. Maybe if it's, like, really popular, I'll take it into account. But I'm not,
Sure.
like, looking for material.
Okay. Okay, so I'm on the screen here for Bard.
Click on class features there just to make sure
Sure.
you got everything down. And just to know what we're looking at.
Yeah, I'm
So-
going to share my screen. That probably seems like the easiest
I totally
way.
forgot. Another thing.
Yeah.
Stats wise, do we want to just do? You can roll for stats, or you can just pick a set lineup of stats.
I'll probably just pick a set lineup.
Yeah,
just
picking a
set
set
lineup.
lineup sounds
Cool.
great.
Done. All right. You can open that hit points menu there.
Yeah, let me worry about getting the layout because I kind
Okay.
of broke and putting that thing up there and whatnot. But so you guys are going to be building your characters as we go quietly, or you can chime in whenever you want. All that fun stuff.
Yeah, maybe just if I have questions.
Yeah.
But this site seems really nice. It's really well laid out. What decisions you have to make.
Yeah.
The only thing I would say about it, and I can definitely explain it more in the moment, is that like Ben almost clicked through all this stuff and didn't look at it and wouldn't have known what it is or how it contributes to the game at all.
I'm a terrible user tester. I'm pretty dumb, so.
Sure.
Sure. Well, we got it.
Sure,
No,
yeah.
that's fine.
Sarah, have you been doing like the same campaign for years, or like what's your
No, we had a year-long campaign, and then we started another one. I probably only completed 3 D&D campaigns.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I got two long ones because we also did like a Roll20 one, the online D&D stuff.
Yeah.
And then one shot. So 3.
Okay.
One big one online one, and then a one shot.
Is there something? It wasn't a one shot that I did, I don't think, but it was pitched as like it's a smaller focused thing. Is there some term? Is there some term for what I did, Charles? Like, it was just kind of like a smaller package, smaller mission that was a little bit like pre-built, but like we went and it was all in the like, was it like a dwarf village? There's a bunch of like mechanical stuff.
Were there little like crab things?
Yes. They're like crab. They're like crab mechs.
Yeah. Did you also fight an ice dragon?
I don't think we got to it.
Okay. It sounds like you were playing the Dragon of Icespire Peak. And this, people would be like, I can't believe you knew that. That's like the one pre-written thing I played because it's like the essentials kit.
Okay.
So I have done that before. Just in general, I would say anything more than a one shot is like a campaign. You could do like a 2-shot, you could call it that, but like it just sounds like you did a shorter campaign that didn't go very long.
Yeah. I guess that was the idea. Okay, so I'm looking at Bard here. Hit points, first level, got it. Proficiencies, am I selecting? Oh boy.
Yep.
So I should
you
go
get
through.
to pick 3 instruments here.
So this is just like fantasy stuff. We just choose what we want for our lives.
Yeah. And this, honestly, like writing it down is good, but like you can pick any instrument. There's no reason it has to be one of these set. And I also don't know that you're going to use 3 instruments.
Well, that's the question. I mean, do I need an instrument? Maybe I just need a horn to be like, hear ye, I'm about to perform. Like,
Sure. Yeah.
okay, so what's
like
a
that.
hear ye horn? Longhorn?
War gong. You hit a big gong.
All right.
You carry around, you wheel around the
Please
gong
just
that's
use
bigger
a
than you.
kazoo, or that's going to be so annoying in the studio. Just get a kazoo, Ben.
Okay, all right.
A gong? Oh, gong sound effect though? Speaking
gongs,
of the sound effect
yes,
guy,
yeah.
I would love to be able to have a gong. sound
Okay,
effect.
got it. Gong, got it.
Love
Okay,
to
and
click
then
a
choose a
gong.
skill or
Yeah, so these
Ooh.
might need some more explanation on. So you're gonna pick 3 of these, and then later on you're gonna pick some too. But
okay, 3 of these. My God. Animal
So-
handling, because I want to be able to handle the small animals as I talk to them.
sure.
Okay.
You're-
Medicine.
You're probably gonna want to take persuasion or deception because you're a bard. You'll have high charisma, so you'll be better at that than other characters.
Okay. Persuasion. Love it. How should I get medicine? Do we need more healing abilities here?
I would not. Medicine doesn't really come up very often.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, so deception and persuasion you recommend?
sure.
Great.
They're different cases depending on if you're trying to, persuade someone or lie to them.
Okay.
I have intimidation as well.
Yes.
That's an aspect of me. So we're pretty well covered there. Hitmonchan in the chat says, how can any person not be proficient in gong?
Gotta have the right mallet. You gotta hit it.
Majored in it.
Yep. Not hit it too many times.
And then Ben, that tab there, Bardic Inspiration.
Yes.
Spellcasting there is just telling you they have spells. So this is going to be your main thing. Bardic Inspiration. You can look at someone in your party and give them a little inspiration. And then they'll get a D6 that they can add to a roll that they do.
They'll give us a little motivating speech, a rousing speech that will inspire us.
Yep.
A rousing speech. Got it.
Yep.
And and this is, I mean, you've done arousing speeches before. You have 7 kids. But the nice thing about this is it's a bonus action, which we don't have to get into the ins and outs of combat right now. But if you're doing a turn and you do like an attack or a spell or whatever, you can then also give someone Bardic Inspiration real quick and make their turn better.
Okay.
So bards are like support characters.
Got it. Love it.
Cool.
And then next?
I think so. Is that going to take you to the spells? No, go back to class again.
Class.
That spells tab.
Okay, so that's all saved in theory, right?
You didn't pick all your instruments, but I think it's fine.
Okay.
I think that's why that.
Gotcha. Currently have no spells.
Okay, go to add spells.
This is so funky. All right.
Okay, so you're going to get 2 cantrips and 4 known spells. Cantrips are very easy spells your character can do an unlimited amount of times.
Right.
And these will be really quick things of like, so you can see right under the text of the spell the level it is. So there's like, 12 or 15 cantrips you can probably choose from?
Yeah. First level. Okay, so for some of these it says first level.
It's all the cantrips are at the top.
Right. Okay, so I'm choosing just how many?
You're going to pick 2.
Okay.
Going through these, message is always good because you can talk to people kind of telepathically.
Oh.
Mage hand is like a little telekinetic hand.
I remember that from Baldur's Gate.
Yeah. Mending, you can fix non-magical items. Minor illusion, you don't need to take because I think you already have it because you're a forest gnome.
Okay. Thunderclap sounds cool.
Thunderclap sounds. Can you expand it? I don't know what it is.
You can create a burst of thunderous sound that can be heard up to 100 feet away. Each creature.
Redundant with the gong?
Redundant with the gong?
Well, this does damage. Maybe you cast this with the gong.
Oh, that sounds great.
That.
That sounds great.
Cool.
All right, I'll take that.
And then the classic bard cantrip is Vicious Mockery, which is at the bottom there.
Oh. Okay, great. So learn that as well.
That is, you insult someone so hard, it does psychic damage to them.
Great. So podcasting.
Exactly.
Great. Love it. Okay.
And then now you get to pick 4 first level spells, I believe.
So go to next.
He gets
no,
4?
it was on the same.
Charles, why does he get 4?
Charles.
I don't know.
I only get 1.
Are you a ranger?
No,
Are
I'm
you
druid.
You only get 1?
Yeah, it says prepared spells 1. How many? I think I only get 1.
That's wrong. Sorry, let me check.
If I get 2 cantrips, it says 2 cantrips and then one prepared spell. Maybe I'm reading it wrong, but that seems too low.
Should I just go through stuff? Healing? Should I get like a cure wounds thing or anything like that?
Yeah, I would say get 1 healing spell. Cure wounds is it takes a whole action and you have to touch someone. Further down, healing word is a bonus action, so you can do that like in addition to your turn. You don't have to be right next to them.
Okay.
It heals less, but I think generally speaking, it's more useful.
Okay, great. Healing word. Ooh, sleep sounds fun.
Sleep's fun.
Okay.
Put people to sleep.
Yep, I can do that.
Help people sleep.
Probably want a good damaging spell.
Okay.
I think.
Ooh, animal friendship sounds good for where I'm leaning.
I think animal friendship befriends existing.
Lets you convince a beast that you mean it no harm.
So that's if you like if like a hostile wolf comes up to you, you can animal friendship it.
Okay, so it wouldn't really help for my small creature obsession.
Yeah, well, you can. That's just don't be a jerk to the animals.
Right. Okay. Tasha's hideous laughter.
That's a good that debilitates someone because they're laughing for a whole turn.
Oh, all right. That sounds interesting. So what do you recommend for just an attacking spell?
Dissonant Whispers, I think, is good.
Okay.
Would not have guessed that, so it's great.
Double check real quick.
Yeah. Silent image. What are you? Create the image of an object. That is so weird.
That'd be good for your one-man show.
Oh, that is true.
Create a door to walk through. Say, honey, I'm home when you're playing your mom.
I'm also debating Featherfall since it's a largely hole-based backstory, if that would be
your wife died.
right.
Yeah.
That seems like an
I think
important
you gotta
thing.
take Featherfall.
Okay.
I think your character just is so anxious about holes and falling.
Yeah. Okay.
So wait, what are the 4 you got? Sleep. You have
Dissonant Whispers, Featherfall,
perfect.
Healing Word.
Cool. Now
Okay.
you can move on to the abilities and stuff.
Okay, now I'm on abilities here.
So at the top, you're gonna hit choose generation method and do standard array.
Standard array.
So when you click on any of those stats, you're gonna have a drop down menu. You're gonna have a bunch of options.
Yeah.
So as a bard, you're gonna want to put your highest in charisma for sure.
Okay. Dumb question. Why is that? Because I'm starting with a higher charisma, so we're just trying to lead into strengths.
So different classes use different stats to cast their spells. So because you're a bard, your charisma is your spell casting stat.
Okay.
So the higher your charisma, the better your spells.
Gotcha.
And actually, if you can, I don't know if you would have clicked this, but can you actually go back to that home tab?
Do we need to save this? Is it all saved automatically?
It'll save.
Okay, so going back to home.
And where is it? In optional features.
Yes.
Oh, where is it? Is that it?
Optional class features, customize your origin.
There's a thing in the game where initially it locked your stat bonuses to whatever race you chose, and then later they were like, that's actually kind of problematic. We should make it so you can choose that it goes where you want it to go.
Okay.
So I think maybe optional class features, customize your origin. I go here. Oh, where is it?
Do I turn on Rick and Morty content, or do we leave that off?
Definitely leave that off.
Okay.
I'll have plenty of my own.
Ben, did you pick up a healing spell?
I think I
Did you pick
did.
Okay, then I'll get rid of mine.
The long distance one, but I don't want to be solely in charge of that stuff.
I don't want to double up.
Oh, is that redundant? Okay.
Also, I do get 3 spells. Didn't put in my wisdom yet, so it only let me take 1.
Strength.
That explains it. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
based
yeah.
on your stat.
How much should I care about strength here?
So strength is going to be melee attacks. You're probably not going to be hitting people melee super often.
Okay. So I'm going to make that an 8.
Sure.
Super weak and pointless.
Dexterity is going to control how soon you go in combat. It's going to control your armor class, which is how easy it is to hit you. That's also going to be like sneaking and stuff.
Okay. That seems like I'll go 13.
Yeah.
Intelligence, of course, I'm super smart. 14. Wisdom 12. Constitution 10.
So just before you lock all this in, the
Yes.
one I was going to say is Constitution is your hit points.
Okay.
So that's the one specific thing it plays. I think that makes good call. That's probably the lineup I would go with.
So Constitution 14, Intelligence 10, Wisdom 12, Dexterity 13. Okay. Great. Oh my gosh. All right. All these stats here, this is just going to be automated. So I go to next.
Yes.
On this page, I wanted less intelligence than I ended up with, so I just gave myself a modifier of -5. Is that going to cause any problems?
No. Intelligence is objectively the least important stat, especially if you're going to be a barbarian.
Okay.
So if you want that, that's totally fine, as long as you know that you're giving yourself. You're going to fail every.
There are some attacks that require you to make intelligence rolls, and you'll just have to take -5 off, and just know you're not going to pass that.
Great.
You're going down.
Okay. So hit next. Oh, people are saying, Charles, tell them about the con.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, he did. He got it.
Oh, okay. Great.
It's like you're going to want some there.
Okay. Great.
Okay. Now in the description section, you're going to want to pick a background. This is just going to give you another proficiency. You're probably going to be...
Entertainer.
Yes.
Okay.
So thank goodness you get another musical instrument.
Oh. Just a second war gong. I guess I'll go for a. And I need this? Oh, bird.
No, you don't really need to pick this.
I'm going to choose bird pipes anyway.
Okay. And you can see up there, you are now proficient also in acrobatics and performance.
Okay.
Wow.
Cool.
And you also are proficient with the disguise kit. So if you want to disguise yourself as another gnomish person, you can do that.
Interesting. Okay. Got it.
Okay. And then all this other stuff at the bottom, maybe hot take, you don't need it at all. You can fill out like your alignment and your physical characteristics and stuff, but we've already talked about it. And I think we've done a good enough job of establishing who you are relative to everyone else. But this is not like mechanical stuff. This is all flavor details.
Okay.
On this page.
Cool.
Cool.
All
So
right,
you can
then
hit
I'll hit
next.
next. Starting equipment. Interesting.
I would go for equipment here.
So
You can click equipment or gold there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Bard
Cool.
starting
Now you can-
equipment. Okay, so all this stuff, description.
What are you going with for background, Sarah?
Oh, I haven't gotten there yet.
Mm.
You
You have first dibs on Outlander. I feel I didn't want to take
What's
that.
Outlander? Oh, you grew up in the wilds.
Right.
Oh, and joined the salt. I think you can have Outlander because I think I'm not as alone as you are.
Okay, right on.
I've got
No,
like
take it.
friends and stuff, you know.
Yeah, I've got like a family who loves me and cares for me.
Dope.
Okay, so am I just going to next then?
Yeah, go to equipment.
Okay.
You're
Oh,
gonna
yes.
Click equipment
Equipment
instead of
and
gold.
it's just defaulting me to leather armor and dagger.
Or is
that-
that's you always get that.
Oh, okay.
So in your first chunk there, sure, you can pick one.
Cool. Yeah, so I can just choose a simple weapon here: dagger, club, great club, hand axe, javelin. Oh, I love a good javelin. Can I take a javelin, or is that impractical?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Can I fulfill my fantasy in this fantasy game? Okay, great. What is a yakla?
I have no idea.
YKWLA? Oh, let's see. D&D. Oh, this kind of looks like a spear. All right, that seems cool.
It
But,
must be on one of the like optional content things we've checked at the beginning.
okay.
So I did.
Great. And then a diplomat's pack or an entertainer's pack? I suppose an entertainer's pack, which includes a disguise kit. That sounds good for me, right?
Perfect.
Okay.
And you're gonna want to do any other musical instrument because you're not proficient in lute, so you got to pick.
So I got to get the war gong.
Yeah.
Okay,
Gong
great.
guy.
So I had the abilities for the war gong, but then this is me actually saying I will physically have a war gong on me at all times.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay, great.
And then I guess you get another instrument with your entertainer's pack.
This is too much.
They really throw instruments at the bard.
Okay, I want those bird pipes.
And then you got to pick love letter, lock of hair, or a trinket.
What is this? What does that mean? Why would I want these?
Don't know. This is a flavor thing of like.
Okay, I have a love letter from my dead wife, of course.
Okay, cool,
Right.
perfect.
Okay.
Now click add starting equipment.
Okay,
Perfect.
beautiful.
And now I think you're done.
Really? So
You click that right arrow. Just go to view character sheet.
and wow, okay,
Simple
cool,
as that.
cool. That seems
It's all
great.
laid out here.
And now I just need to get ink in my printer and print it out.
Yeah, you can do it on the website paper's fun, but you can
Sure.
also on the thing you can click an ability and it'll roll a dice for you on the thing.
Okay,
Oh my gosh.
I'm just trying to get an image.
What was all that?
I'm just trying to. All right, perfect. Okay, just trying to get in the zone of fully understanding what we're working with. Oh God, why did this break my computer? Okay, Crystal. Just getting an image here.
Careful with this image. Careful, your CPU might not be able to handle it, dude.
This is really having a tough time with this for whatever reason. How's your guys' characters coming along?
Good. The characteristics are optional, personality traits and ideals and things like that.
Yeah, I think we've kind of established.
As long as we have them in our
those.
head, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do the backgrounds give you, they just kind of give you supplies, right? And like additional languages?
Yeah, they give you languages and skill proficiencies.
Okay.
This site is having a tough time uploading this one image or doing really anything like that.
It's not worth it.
Oh, it's very worth it, Sarah. Okay, awesome. So what else we need to do, Charles?
We're pretty much ready to go. I think the only thing left is like explaining.
There we
terrifying.
go. Okay, now I got it.
Ben, are you planning on printing this out and using it?
No, I mean, I don't think so. I think I'll be fine. I'll have it on a cheat sheet somewhere so I can reference it, right? That's going to be very handy to have.
Yeah, well, I was saying,
Yeah.
like, are you going to use it on the web, or are you going to use like a physical thing?
Oh, I mean, I don't have a printer, so I guess just the web. Or do you think it's cleaner that we should just find some way to print all this stuff out so we can all have it on the desk? That does seem cleaner, doesn't
I
it?
have a
print in
printer.
the
I don't know.
library.
I'm sorry, what's that? Do you have a printer, Charles?
Yeah, I can print it out.
Okay, yeah, if you could print out everybody's character sheets, that'd be awesome.
Charles is
Yeah.
going to literally, I can print out my own character sheet. I
yeah.
own a printer.
Wow. All right. Cool. Somebody was saying I needed to equip all my stuff in my inventory.
That's what I was going to say is if you go to your inventory tab there in this box on the right,
Box on the right. Inventory. Ah, yes. Okay.
and then you want to go down to just click your leather, that box next to it,
Yep.
click your javelin.
Of course. The two most important ingredients for adventure.
So now if you go back to actions now,
Yeah.
just in that same box, you didn't have the javelin option before.
Okay. Got it.
You know, I did not realize javelins weren't finesse weapons. It shouldn't.
Let him
really
try.
matter.
Let him try.
wait,
It'll
wait.
lead to some funny situations.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have a -1
Yeah.
plus your.
But he wants to use the javelin.
He wants to use a javelin. No, it's true. That's true. That's a good point. Respect the character.
I'm going to go along with Sarah's inclinations, even if I'm screwing myself
We
over.
don't. We don't need
It's
to min-max
in
this
character.
guy.
Yeah,
It's in
exactly.
character.
It's in character. Great. Yep. Love it. Cool. All right.
Beautiful.
Are we sitting pretty? Anything else we need to do here?
I think we're set to go. I'll start crafting up Gunch in the community center, and I'm really excited to play this game. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, were we gonna dress up? That was a thing that we never addressed.
Right. I don't really own the right stuff,
what
but
I
if
was
Hanson
gonna
bought
say.
the right stuff, put it
So, okay. I'll try and keep it in mind. Sarah, how are you feeling? Should I buy stuff for you too?
No, I have like a Renaissance fair costume.
Jesus Christ. Okay,
Nice.
awesome. Yeah, I could probably run to like a Goodwill or something and grab some stuff. Leo, if you just want to send me any idea of what you'd like. And
yeah, I guess rags.
Okay, I could do rags. And then Charles, I mean, how are you making this work?
Get me like a robe or a big hat.
I feel like I've got both those things already in my house.
Can you get me like a shitty toy horse to put in front of me to like, so people know what my character is?
Yeah. Okay.
If your child has one, you can just lift up.
Yeah. He'll cry, but okay, that sounds good. Rags, toy horse, hat, and robe. Okay, yeah, this all
Shrek
seems
vest, even
Shrek-ish.
Shrek style vest.
Vest. Okay, yeah, I'll find some.
Oh, this doesn't make sense. People are like, get her one of those horse head stick toys, but the top of me is in a horse, you guys.
Anything but that.
Doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Get a horse ass toy.
Yeah.
Like where the it's a pole and then the horse's ass is on the back.
Okay. All right. I think that's doable. And so thanks again to everybody in the MinnMax community for making this whole adventure possible by letting us hit that goal. Shout out especially to Jawar Hello and Ted Reiser, who jumped up to that cohort hootenanny tier to really, they're really the ones who put us over the top here. So we couldn't have done it without them. We're going to be streaming this live on Thursday at 11 a.m. Central, if I'm remembering correctly. Is that what we agreed upon? And so that's going to be on Thursday, May 9th. But then we will have the YouTube archive up for everybody. And I assume, even though there's going to be sound effects, I assume we should put this as a podcast audio version as well, right? That seems to make sense. Okay, so if you want some sound effects in your podcast, that'll be available for you as well. But thank you for letting us go on this adventure. Charles, anything else we gotta cover real quick, man?
Just real quick, can you guys say the names of your characters again? I know Crystal Billy.
Okay.
Pringle with a Y.
That's right.
And Dandy Lightly.
Dandy Lightly. Dandy Lightful.
Perfect. Awesome. Charles, you're a hero for doing this.
You are.
You guys are the real heroes.
Yeah,
Maybe.
thanks.
If you actually save the day.
Yeah, well, I don't know if this javelin skills. Let's go in here. All right, Sarah, any other things we should definitely keep in mind before we jump into this thing next time as another expert?
I don't think so.
What about just like general... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I mean, no. I think we're already in a great place with our backstories. I think like we're in good hands with our DM. It's just don't overthink it.
Yeah. I remember last time I played, I was talking to Game Informer's Matt Miller and asked him for advice. And he said like, hey, have some fun, but go along with where your DM kind of wants you to go. And he said like, also number one rule is don't attack your fellow companions. Like, he's like, everybody does it if they're like, oh, I'm being fun and wacky. I'm just going to take a swing at my friend. It's like, just keep it moving. You derail things and it's so obnoxious. And so I thought that was really helpful from an old master. But any of those like general tips for...
Were you considering just randomly attacking us in the night? Like,
I think that's very natural. It's like, oh, I don't really understand this game, but I can do anything I want. All right, let me take a swing at Leo. That sounds funny. But it's like, no, it's not
like
really.
I've always wanted.
Yeah, exactly. You've noticed that clenched fist every time Leo's around me. But yeah, any other just general like gameplay tips you have, Charles or Sarah?
If you want to know if you can do something, ask the DM.
Right.
And then the DM will say yes or no, and then like detail. Like when you're saying like I'm going to go over and steal it, like give more detail. Like how are you going to go over it? What methods are you going to use to go over it? You know, just like as much detail as you can give in the way that your character would do something.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think more so than even memorizing, for least experienced person in the room here, more important than even memorizing your like spells and what you have in your inventory and stuff is just like, what is my character's mindset? Like, how would I think about this problem?
Right.
And kind of going from there.
Yes.
Okay.
What's my point of view?
I also think, yeah, as far as any like rules concerns, like we've got it. I have no concerns about that. Like we'll figure that out in the moment, and I don't think anyone will. It's a needlessly complicated game that many people struggle to understand every day that play it for years and years. So if you're like, how does this work again, or why am I doing this? That's like completely normal, and lots of people. I played the same campaign with people for years and still have to explain stuff to them every session.
Yeah.
The other thing I would say is, to Matt's point, don't like don't like kill people for no reason. Like stay in character, but also like I don't want you to. My job is to facilitate you guys telling a story. So I don't want you to be like, I don't really want to go here because I don't think Charles has anything planned. It's like, that is 100% my problem. I'll make stuff up. I'm good at that. I have lots of practice.
Okay.
If you're like, this seems like a weird way to enter this room, or this seems like an odd thing to do, that's like entirely what I'm here for, is to make that make sense in the context of whatever's going on.
Right.
Right on.
So I don't want you to feel like you're pushing up against the walls of the simulation. It's also one shot. So it's like, if we break the laws of the universe, okay, we'll make a new one next time.
The universe could be destroyed at the end.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, hey, that's good to know. Again, tune in live if you like, or check out the archive. Charles, Leo, Sarah, thank you so much. I'm sorry, DM, Pringles, and Dandy, appreciate it. And we'll be back in the future for the adventure to truly begin in the MinnMax studio here. Thanks so much, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.
You can help support independent games media by subscribing to MinnMax on YouTube here, or you can support us over on Patreon to unlock a weekly Patreon exclusive podcast called Party Chat. You can call into our podcast. You can put a picture of your choice on every MinnMax video. MinnMax is a Patreon about games, friends, and getting better, and we exist because of you. Any help telling a friend's appreciated.